Thank you. This is what happens in real life. You think something is set, and all of a sudden life throws you a curve. And out of nowhere, you're confronted with devastation. One day, it's September 19th, 2017, and you know there's something coming, but you can't see it because on September 5th, there was another hurricane that hit us, Irma. So we had no idea. I saw Maria just kind of engulfing Puerto Rico a few days later when a reporter from CNN showed it to me. 4,645 people. 2 weeks ago, a Harvard study told us that this was the average people that died in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. Not as a direct result of the hurricane, but as a direct result of the neglect of a government and of a president that did not get it. And as a result of the silence of the political class in Puerto Rico that wanted to be silent. You see, in a humanitarian crisis, you have two things you can do. You either speak up and tell the truth, or you're silenced by the comfortable feeling of jumping on a bandwagon of a virtual reality. 4,645 people that died because we didn't have a spark of light. I like the word in English better, it's power. But along where the governments failed us, the people of the United States did not fail us. The Latino population, the American people, the Puerto Rican diaspora. And out of the darkness, complete darkness, came a young man from Operation Blessing in Virginia and told me, "Mayor, I'm here and I want to help. I have this little lamps, which I started calling cubes of hope. And you can use them and you can read with them if you want. But most of all, if there's anybody in need in a community, they can simply use them for an SOS. Solar lamps that cost $13 to $15 were given to us by an organization of people that I had never known. And the light came back to certain communities. So the question is, what do you do? How do you come up and change from a transformation, from devastation to transformation? I'm in no position to tell you what to do. I'm in a position to share what I did. There are things that you will want to rebuild, like the brick road that we're going to show there. Now, it's made out of cobblestones. It's been there for 500 years. So you have to redo it because it's your history, and it's what's going to keep you together. But there are things that you don't want to redo because rebuilding means that whatever you had was good enough. And one of the things that Maria did for us is that it didn't allow us to push aside, not look at our poverty and our discrimination and our inequality. We could no longer hide that behind piña coladas and palm trees. There will be no more of these perfectly tan people with bikinis that I cannot wear walking into the sunset. Because right there, raw for us to see, was the mistakes of the past that we had made and we had to own up to. And one of the things that you have to do in a humanitarian crisis, God bless you, is first of all, you have to be sure you are aware of everything, anything that happens around you. But you also have to make sure that you know where you're going. I don't know how many of you are my age. I'm 55 years old. I know I don't look it, but I'm 55 years old. And I remember watching Yogi Bear telling his friend Boo Boo, "Hey, Boo Boo, if you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there. You know, for years they were lost in that park. But he had the right idea. He just didn't implement it. So you have to know where you're going. And one of the things that you have to realize, if you have to stare truth in the face and you have to speak truth to power, no matter the color of the house a person lives in, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're taller than you, if they seem more powerful than you. I guarantee you, if justice and truth are on your side, people will follow, and a better society will be in the way. So you see, how do you go from devastation to transformation? If I was going to rebuild, I would have to make sure that a child that lives in that house gets that same house. Now, was that good to begin with? Was that good to begin with? No. This is a bathroom that boy took a shower in. I wouldn't want that for that kid sitting on the first floor. So I cannot rebuild. I have to transform. So that kid in the next couple of weeks, because of the work of our employees and the AFL-CIO workers that left their homes in the United States to help us, will now live in that house. Will now bathe in that bathroom. And it only cost $30,000 to get that done. $30,000. So you go from there to there. And not only that, they're going to have solar power powering their house, so that when another hurricane comes, they don't have to suffer what they did suffer. So you have to know where you're going. In San Juan, we talk about permanent solutions to recurring problems, because as someone said, we are an island surrounded by water. Lots and lots of water, ocean water. Now, we didn't know that until the President of the United States said it. So after we were enlightened with that, we had one up on him, because we know climate change is real. We know it's not fake news. We have suffered what it is. So we can't just rebuild. We have to transform. We have to make sure that the problems that we have in the past will not be faced by generations in the future, by today's generation. So we have to change it. We have to do what we can, because people are allowed to live a dignified life no matter the color of their skin, no matter who they love or how they love them, as long as they're consenting adults. No matter the religion. It doesn't matter if you're Muslim or if you're Jew or if you're Catholic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It truly does not matter. And that brings me to the second thing. So remember, boo-boo. You have to know where you're going. But you also have to know why you're doing things and who you are helping them. That is the boy, the one in the red t-shirt. And don't worry, I have his parents' permission to show this. That is the boy coming back from school and seeing all those workers putting his life back in a different light. That is who we do this for. This is a family in Jabucoa, not in San Juan, where people have spent 283 days today without any electricity. Now, when you take that away from people, understand, we don't want electricity to take a hot bath or to have air conditioning, even though it's good. We want it so that our children can go to school on a full-time basis. We want it so that our kids don't have to be operated on by the light in your cell phone. We want it so that people don't have to die. 4,645. Say it with me. 4,645 lives. People that will never see the light of day, because you can kill people with a bomb, you can kill them with a gun, or you can kill them with neglect. You kill them when you don't tend to their basic needs, when you look the other way, when you decide to tweet rather than to change their lives. I was confronted with that reality on September 20th. I spent 3 months living in a shelter, the largest shelter in Puerto Rico. 685 people and 200 employees lived there. I can tell you it was no Mar-a-Lago. It was very, very difficult to live there. But I can go back, live in my home, when people were not living under their own roof. So we change things, we transform them, we reach for hope. You have to really dig deep, and you have to understand you cannot do it alone. Look at each other. No, right now, look at each other. I mean it. You're not looking. I mean, look at the greatness of who you have next to you. You may not know them, but they're unique in the world. We are all unique, and somehow we must raise each other's humanity. Because you see, I have seen women go from one side of a river to another, just hanging onto a rope to get to the other side to get medicine for their children. I've seen people pulled out from buildings because they were severely dehydrated. Dialysis patients that hadn't had their dialysis for weeks and still smiled at you and told me, you know what, Yulín, everything will be okay. Well, damn it, everything is not okay when we look the other way when injustice is taking place. It's not okay. We have no choice. We have to move forward and ensure that all of us, it doesn't matter if you're suffering from a hurricane in Puerto Rico, because when they pull a child from their mother's arms in the border, they're pulling our children. We're all in this together. And you see, when somebody does not want to sell you a cake just because you're a member of the LGBTQ community, it's not about the cake. It's about your right to love who you are. And it's about the respect that we owe to everyone in understanding that love is love. And when our children have to do drills to go underneath their seats because gun control laws are not there to protect them, this is our children that we're letting down. We have no right. We can be mad, we can be upset, we can be disillusioned, we can be tired. Hell, I'm sorry, but there's a kid here, I said hell. I get tired. And there's so much hate out there. My daughter, who's 28 years old, often says to me, Mom, haters will be haters, just brush them off. Brush them off. And it's hard. It's hard to do. It's hard to see a mother with a child coming to a coliseum and begging for rice because her children have not eaten for 3 days. How much are we going to have to endure to realize that things have to change? You know, for the people in the island nation of Puerto Rico, it has been really tough. And I get mad because I don't understand how those that can do not. And those that don't have to are so open with their hearts. I will forever be grateful to the American people because they went to places where a government was telling us that the logistics were unsurmountable. They can get a guy to the moon, but they cannot get water 1,000 miles away from the coast. You know, what the hell? So we started trying to change people's frame of mind and our own frame of mind of what power is for. And that, I don't know how many letter words, dirty word of politics. It isn't about politics. It is about saving lives. It's about public policy that makes sense and that allows us. Look at that song. I didn't know he was going to sing that song, but he said, we all need to be one. Fearless. Whatever you do in life, whatever you do. Be uncompromising. Be unapologetic. Be bold. And go after your dreams, because in the words of Sir Winston Churchill, whatever the cost and the agony shall be, we will conquer. Conquer we must, and conquer we will if we stand united. Because yes, say it with me, we can. Yes. Oh, come on, say it like you mean it. Yes. 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 Thank you very much, and God bless you all.